Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today, I specifically have some really important news and thoughts to share about Ripple and XRP, but more importantly, the background fundamentals of the SEC. And then, of course, we're going to head over into some crypto news, some general stuff, as there is quite a lot of news that went down today that I want to update you guys about. Having said that, if you enjoy these daily crypto news updates, make sure you press that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And guys, if you're hearing some crazy laughter or a little bit of background music, I don't like neighbors. All right, 2013, SEC and FinCEN enter into an info sharing agreement. 2015, FinCEN enters into settlement talks with the Ripple, forcing Ripple to register XRP sales through FinCEN. 2019, Coinbase informs the SEC it is listing XRP unless the SEC disagrees. Using the lawsuit as a weapon, cases filed in 2020. An XRP boy basically came out and said, hey, you know what, I'm still puzzled here, John. If the SEC had discussions about how to properly regulate Ripple and XRP as early as 2014 and perhaps even earlier, what took so long to bring the lawsuit? I really thought the SEC purview is to protect the public, especially Americans, maybe? Or I'm not exactly sure about that little last line. But the fact they're stating that indeed, if you're starting to kind of put up your facts together, right, what doesn't really make a lot of sense, and this is one thing that people are ignoring pretty often, is the fact that you might say, hey, Ripple is a fraud company. They're doing all this stuff wrong. Should be sued, whatever. Okay, fine. Might be your opinion. If that's the case, then before you knew it, most likely the SEC knew it a couple of years ago, right? So where's the line that why did they wait? And then another part is to say, well, Ripple's not doing anything wrong. They're just trying to find something that's wrong. But even then, so then they didn't do anything wrong until like years after you started investigating, like 6 years after. And a couple other things I keep popping up in my head and that I'm keep thinking about is, well, maybe they were waiting to see if XRP was finally going to be kind of loose from Ripple or whatnot. But if that's the case, then whenever they make these speeches or so, they never really make that apparent that that's like an option and a thing. So I'm like, are we kidding ourselves or is that the reality? And I just keep coming back to that and keep thinking about that type of stuff. But as far as I know, guys, it's just a really difficult situation. We keep trying to blame the SEC because they are to blame, and they keep not really caring about whatever we think. So at the end of the day, we're not really getting far, except for the fact that John Deaton and guys like that are bringing this news to the mainstream, and it's happening. And for example, where we just now saw this, let me actually share that. Clayton's Wall Street Journal op-ed is simply unbelievable. Clayton's audacity is truly staggering. As you read his Wall Street Journal article, consider the following. Senator Mike Crapo wrote a letter to both the OCC and Clayton while at the SEC, seeking clarity regarding crypto payments. Brad Garlinghouse here stating, Siri, play ironic, because he's also sharing this little op-ed, this little opinion. Opinion, America's future depends on the blockchain. And the irony/funny part in all of this is what John describes here in a very elaborate and very well thought out piece right here. And it's basically about China and the US, but more importantly, about the irony of the SEC or specifically Jay Clayton's opinion and about what he writes down. But here's Tim Howard. He asks, quick, John, with utmost respect, have you actually filed the class action? Seems stagnant at the moment, or am I wrong? I would put huge pressure on the SEC, or it would use, but it seems you're waiting on end of trial. Damage has already been done. Why is this class action not moving ahead? And one important thing to state here, guys, is I really see a lot of hostility in a lot of questions that people put up, when in reality, they're just misinformed, right? And I also see it sometimes in the comment section when people really attack in the way that they write a message, when in reality, they don't know, or they should have just asked their question differently, leaving it a little bit more open to a sense. So for example, here he says, it will put huge pressure on the SEC, but it seems you're waiting on end of trial. When in reality, you don't know what type of pressure it will put. You don't know if it's feasible to even go for a class action, to know if he's actually waiting for something. And again, he says, well, have you actually filed it? So you're not sure if he's waiting for something. I just find this really, disrespectful in the way that he's writing it down, but that's just me. I just think if you're going to talk to somebody of authority in that sense like this, who is really trying to help the entire XP community, we should treat him a little bit nicer in that sense and not put the unnecessary pressure on him. That's my opinion, right? At the end of the day, I don't know what's good or what's wrong. He says, one, because the SEC could use it as a way to substantially delay the Ripple XRP case, valid. And two, the SEC and its staff have qualified immunity. And to overcome that immunity, you must meet a very high burden and needs as much evidence as possible to meet that high standard, which I also understand. Who are you going to sue? The SEC? No, this is going to happen. You're going to sue individual members? How? They're immune because that's the work. So it's going to be a really difficult thing to get done, which is also quite logical if you ask me. So I do respect him for replying to that, though, because it's a really important and burning question to a lot of people. I just think the way it was phrased was not so nice. But the premise or the question is definitely valid from Tim as well. All right, then, talking about some news. Ripple shared this. Last month, we released our framework for crypto and digital asset regulation. In it, we encourage public-private collaboration, call for a fostered culture of innovation, and more. Here's some details. Well, we actually covered this a little bit earlier, but the thing is, guys, I keep sharing with you all how Ripple is progressing, and people are just noticing on the front end that the lawsuit is going on, but in the back end, these guys are progressing like crazy. We've also seen before that in sustainability, they're ranked pretty high. I had a couple of articles open that talk about the Ripple/XP sustainability and some of the parties that they have to kind of work with this and that choose them. But we're not going to cover that today, as I didn't want to keep them open. That was a different subject that I don't want to discuss today too much, except for the fact that they are progressing and people are not noticing it. Then again, another thing to kind of call up here is that Ripple has, for a couple of times in the past and even now again, stated that they want to help with making sure that crypto regulations are done nicely, or give up some ideas and give up what the crypto community or the people in America really would want to see. Yet the SEC has yet to come up with a good response. They don't want to respond to this. They don't want to see the facts. They don't want to see reality. They just want to stay in their bubble, make rules when it benefits them the most, and not really think about what benefits the people, as far as I get it or know. All right, let's see here. Justin, son, stepping down from Tron leadership to be a diplomat for Grenada. I'm not sure if this is the official truth, to be honest with you. It just said here, congratulations. Oh, I moved a table. Justin Sun on his appointment as ambassador, permanent representative of Grenada, the World Trade Organization. Minister of Foreign Affairs Oliver Joseph with HEMR Justin Sun. I'm like, in a sense, not exactly sure if he's officially going to quit or what you call it. Here it just says, on his separate Twitter account bearing the salutation, His Excellency Sun wrote that he had accepted the Canadian government invitation to serve as a permanent representative of the country to the World to the World Trade Organization in Geneva. I will be working in full capacity to represent Grenada's national interests to the WTO. As far as I know it, he's just going to work on this for a little bit. Doesn't mean he's going to step down or maybe like for a little bit. I'm not sure how long this takes, in that sense. I'm not sure if it takes like a week or a month or 5 years, But I don't think he's going to leave Tron for too much time or anything like that. And even then, is it real stuff? Or is it just a joke? Also, to be honest with you, not 100% sure. Seems real enough. This type of stuff is difficult to find out. Let me just quickly see. I'm just checking out because I'm thinking now again. They're not using his official Twitter account or whatnot. Maybe it's all just fake. But it could also be that they made a specific Twitter account for him because they make an His Excellency type of Twitter. A little bit confused about this, not gonna lie. At the end of the day, I don't know if it's really easy to verify in any way, shape, or form. I guess because it's on Bloomberg, Crypto, and all these places, yeah, it must be real. He's becoming a diplomat, huh? I guess he's making some step upwards, right? Because crypto is, I guess, a little bit more jokey than what he's doing right now. So I guess, yeah. All right, moving on though. Cointelegraph. U.S. Financial Stability Oversight Council identifies stablecoins and cryptos as threats to the financial system. Funny how just yesterday, I think, we covered how the IMF says it's no threat. The Bank of England said it's not really a threat. And now exactly a day later, we're seeing the exact opposite, which shows once more, guys, if you trust in whatever their opinion is about crypto, you're really hurting yourself only. It's only a mental game because they're not going to let go of what really is going on. At least even if they do, you don't know if that's really going to stay that way for more than a week, if you guys get my drift. Ray Dalio sees merit in Bitcoin. It says it's younger generation's alternative to gold. I also get that. The billionaire founder of Bridgewater Associates, Ray Dalio, says there is some merit to having Bitcoin in your portfolio, and I fully agree with that. Bitcoin may not last that much longer, says Cornell University senior professor. The only thing I have to say about that one is Bitcoin eventually could indeed be replaced by some other cryptocurrency, because if you think about it, it's not that good for transacting, it's not that good for anything. So maybe if we look 15 years into the future, 10 years into the future, some other crypto will have overtaken, and something that's using the same or similar type of technologies will actually do better. It's possible. You know, the flippening officially from maybe Ethereum, maybe XRP, maybe some crypto like that. We don't know which one is going to be number one. But indeed, there is some chance that eventually it will be overtaken. But I think it will take a long time, though. I think it will take some good time for that to happen. Coinbase. I saw this. It says that Coinbase goes meta. Hypothetical stack for the future metaverse. Coinbase has announced intentions to work on a holistic infrastructure pipelines package for the metaverse, with it giving some hints on some products in development. Quote, the metaverse will rely on blockchain to transfer identity and ownership across virtual worlds, attestation to verify them, and payment rail that allow people to buy, sell, and earn income within a decentralized economy, said Brian Armstrong, Coinbase co-founder. All I have to say about this one is, damn, that's going to be cool. Because I keep telling you guys, metaverse is my biggest freaking investment in crypto right now. Gaming stuff, metaverse is my biggest stuff. So the more I see about this, the better, as I keep sharing that on my channel as well. And then here, Welshman, who accidentally binned 340 million pounds of Bitcoin, hires NASA experts to help him find it. He's also trying to persuade the council to let him rummage through the landfills. He basically had, as far as I know, right, as I remember the story, one little disk drive, like a little USB, that he, I think accidentally, I don't remember the story 100%, threw away in the bin. And so, of course, they took his trash, took it to a landfill, where they put all the trash. And apparently now, years later, it's worth 340 million pounds. So this guy, of course, hating himself, thinking, hey, how can I get that back? And so he's trying everything now. And apparently, I thought he gave up, right? But apparently, it says here, James Howells claims he unintentionally threw away 7,500 units back in 2013. One of the most fun parts, I would say, is, if you ask me, that even though he's hiring people to track it down, right? Maybe if you check your computer, see the connections they can find. What if the freaking USB is busted now from such a long journey? After so many millions of dollars spent maybe on actually finding it, all of a sudden you notice it's messed up. IT professional from Newport has spent 8 years trying to persuade the Newport Council to let him search the landfill site, even offering to share his fortune with them, as reported by Wales Online. However, the council has refused all of James's pleas thus far. I don't really understand why. I guess maybe you don't want people looking around through trash. But then again, I can understand from his perspective that it's an exception. But yeah, what makes an exception, right? He's just trying to look for something. And I guess in this case here, it's a really huge amount of money. But then again, I don't understand why you can't look through that. Maybe it's no, not sure, that you're going to put things on, like, are they afraid of you getting hurt? Oh, I see a little fly. Wait a minute, guys. How can I, sometimes, like, in my hotel room here, the light turns off every couple of minutes if you don't move. And so all of a sudden I saw a little fly on the screen, like a really, really small one. Those ones where if you keep your window open, they sometimes come in like one little small, but whatever. I digress. What did it say? I'm not exactly sure why he's not allowed to do so. Then again, I can think of a couple of logical reasons. I do understand exceptional circumstance, that it doesn't really happen too often, I guess. But I don't know. Let's just accept the verdict that they've made and not really question that. The thing is, though, James is now hired on track to help locate it. Company was once used by NASA to recover a hard drive from Columbia Space Shuttle crash site in 2003. And the Minneapolis company managed to recoup 99% of the data, despite the hard drive being found in a dried up lake bed 6 months after the incident. Meaning, as far as I guess now, once they do, like, I'm not sure exactly if these guys, how or what in the world this works, but it just shows you once more how crazy data is, and that anything you ever do on your computer or anything like that, it's always going to be there. At least that's what I try to always remind people of. Anything that you ever put on anywhere, make sure you understand that it's going to stay there forever and ever. So if you're going to say some, better understand that it's going to stay and stick around. Usually doesn't matter too much, though. But the fact that they can kind of track that and find some stuff in it, it just mesmerizes me sometimes reading into that. I always like it. I always like these types of stories. On Track believes there's an 80 to 90% chance James's huge Bitcoin fortune can be recovered if the hard drive hasn't cracked. James accidentally tossed the hard drive out containing the crypto fortune when he was cleaning out his office back in 2013. By the time he realized he made a mistake, his former partner, Hafina, had already taken the rubbish to the tip. And so, yeah, You know what I sometimes am afraid of, guys? I don't actually take like money with me to hotel rooms. If you guys get my drift, it's not like I have hundreds of billions of dollars here. Don't get me wrong, but I mean that I sometimes am afraid they're gonna just throw something out by accident, like my just some small stuff that I have, like some freaking, what are they called now? Receipts, for example, that I want to keep, or some stuff. I'm thinking, what are they gonna see? This is trash. I'm sometimes really afraid of that, and I have some other small stuff that is sometimes laying around. I think, what if I forget that they threw it away? What if I forget that I don't have it? And yeah, if I ever had a USB like that, I might also get some scares about it. But that's why I don't like to carry small USBs and whatnot. Whenever I have a USB, I make sure it's really big, and I make sure it's in a really safe place if I have something important on there. But usually, I don't really have that many important documents like that. So I guess no burden for me, luckily, huh? Let me know in the comment section down below exactly where your crypto is. No, please don't do that, guys. Please don't. But I think it's pretty funny. You threw away $400 million. How would you feel? How would you feel? I don't think you can sleep well at night anymore. All right. But that was it for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Had a little bit of fun at the end here. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today.